Love Yoga. I'm Rachel. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's a beautiful day outside. Hopefully it's beautiful wherever you are. Today we are going to be doing some stretching. So lots of good deep stretches for athletes, cyclists, runners, or really just anybody, even if you're not an athlete. We're going to get into the quads, the hammies. It's going to be great. So let's get started. Thanks again for joining me. Go ahead and just take a seat on your mat. You can have your legs folded in front of you. And just to start, I just like to get a little relaxation going. So squeeze those shoulders up into your ears and then just let them roll down your back. Bring them up. Let them roll down. Squeeze them up. Let them fall down that back. Go ahead and just glance over your right shoulder, stretching through the neck, back to center. Stretch it over to the left side, back to center. Keep going each direction. One more time over to the left, and then to center. Inhale, reach high. Right hand plants down on the mat, left arm reaches up and over. Press into that right palm, keeping both of your sits bones grounded, reaching with those fingertips. Inhale, come back to center, reach up. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up and over. Pressing into the palm, getting nice and deep into that stretch, rotating the chest open toward the sky. Inhale, reach high. And then we'll just do a gentle twist. So left knee, left hand comes to their left knee, right hand plants behind you. Pull the crown of your head nice and tall, and then if it feels all right, glance over that right shoulder. Yoga should never hurt, so none of these moves should hurt. So back off a little bit if you feel any kind of pain or pinching. Reach back to center, left hand comes down behind you and plants on the ground. Right hand grabs that knee, twist over the left shoulder. Breathe. And then inhale, come back to center. Go ahead and bring the hands down in front of you on the mat, coming into a tabletop position. So wrists are right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You can do a little side to side rock. And then right foot steps back towards the back of the mat. Ball of the foot touches down. And then just start to rock forward and backward on the ball of that foot. And then melt that heel toward the ground. So really pressing the heel toward the back of the mat. Feeling that stretch in the back of your hamstring. Pull the belly button in towards your spine. And then lift that leg up. I'm going to turn so you guys can see what I'm doing. Swing it out to the side and set it down. Slide your foot out a little bit so the inside of your foot is in contact with the mat. And you can play around with it, just whatever feels good for you. And then just press into your palms, but sink your weight back a few inches. So imagine that I'm just pulling your hips gently backward. Taking the weight out of your palms, feeling that deep stretch on the inside of your right leg. Just breathe here. You can always pause this video if you want to stay in a pose longer. Feel free. You can also roll up a towel to put under your knees if you're on a hard surface or you're feeling any discomfort in the knees. Go ahead and shift back forward. Lift that leg back up. Bring it underneath you. And then just do some hip circles. So swinging that knee forward in big giant circles. And then switch it up. Go the other way. Bring the knee underneath you. Left leg steps back, rock forward and backward, and then sink the heel toward the mat, really pressing out through the heel, pressing into the palms, getting a good stretch up and down the back of that hammy. Go ahead and rock back forward, lift the leg, send it out to the side, inside of that foot sets down. You might need to slide it out a little bit, and then shift your weight back into your hips. Just move back a few inches, pulling the belly button toward the spine, sinking into that stretch. And just breathe. When you've had enough of that one, go ahead and rock forward, bring that knee up, or leg up, knee back underneath you, circle forward, and circle back. All right, set that knee down, tuck the toes under, and then start to press into the balls of your feet. Lift your hips slowly up and back, coming into a down dog. So to test your down dog positioning, if you're kind of new to yoga or just want to check out if you're doing this right, you should be able to rock forward pretty easily to a plank. So maybe adjust your stance and then pull your hips up and back, down dog. So you can have a wide stance with your feet here, bend really deeply into one knee, sinking the opposite heel toward the mat. And then switch it out, bending into the other knee, sinking the heel down. And you can do this back and forth a few times. Sink both heels toward the mat, rise up on the toes, sink it back down. As you inhale, lift that right heel toward the sky, bring your knee towards your nose, look between your hands, set your foot there. You might need to help it get there, that's totally fine. Untuck those back toes, rock the chest forward, and then hands kind of walk up to your thigh, lifting the body upright. Pull the belly button away from the shirt, and then arms reach up high. Now you can kind of sink forward, melting the hips toward the mat, feeling a stretch in the front of that left hip. So sinking down. And this is a great stretch. You can stay here if you want to get a little deeper into the IT band. Right arm comes down, left arm reaches up and over. So feel that stretch through those left fingertips, reaching. And then come back to center, reach high. Hands come down toward the mat. And then start to shift the hips back towards your heels, straighten through this front leg. Flex the toes, pull them back towards your head. Maybe you tuck your chin and gaze behind you. But what you should do here is press that left heel down, the right heel into the mat and then pull it back towards you. So pressing down, pulling back, the right hip shifts back, left hip shifts forward. Tongue twister for you. So hold that pose for as long as you'd like. And then bend into that front knee, walk the hands back forward. Left hand plants, gonna face you guys. Left hand plants, right arm opens up toward the sky. So lifting that gaze, looking back at those fingertips, sinking the hips toward the mat. And then start to bend in to that back knee if it's available to you. So if this feels okay on your knees, bend that knee, bring that left heel towards your butt, reach back with that right hand and pull it in a little deeper. So this might not be okay for your body. If it is not okay, listen to your body, no pain. Just release that foot and just keep sinking the hips forward. If it is okay, just pull it in, feeling the stretch in the quad, glance over the right shoulder. Release the foot, arm reaches back up, bring it to the inside of that right foot. So if you're a yogi, for my yogis out there, coming into lizard pose, so that left leg is kind of straight out. Go ahead and allow your foot to roll to the outer edge if it feels okay, and the knee opens up. If that feels good. If not, you can keep the knee tight into your body. But maybe let it fall open. Lots of options here. You can lower down to your forearms, and you can spend a lot of time in this pose. You can kind of gently give a little rock. Once you've been here for a little bit and you feel like you're ready to come out, walk back up to the palms. Tuck that back toe under, lift the knee, and then send that right leg high to the sky, coming back to a down dog. Again, sink the heels, and then left heel flies high. Bring that knee towards your nose, look between your hands, set it there or help it. Back knee drops, untuck the toes, melt the hips forward, and then bring your arms, hands up to your thigh. Maybe reach up. Keep sinking forward here. So you want that kind of motion in your hips to be pulling forward. And then left hand comes down, right arm reaches up and over, really getting into the front of that right hip. Breathe here and reach. Inhale, reach it high. Hands come down to the mat, straighten through that front leg, pull the toes back towards your head, sink the hips down. Runner's stretch here. Pressing that left heel down and back towards your body. Left hip is shifting back, right hip shifts forward to get the deepest stretch in this pose. Let the head hang heavy and just breathe. All right, walk the hands back forward. Right hand plants, left arm opens up. Switch around for you guys so I don't face away from the camera. So left arm opens to the sky. Option to stay here in this deep stretch with the hips sinking forward, or heel comes toward the butt, bend that back leg, maybe reach back and make contact. You can also use a strap here to hook around that foot. and pull it gently towards your body. If you don't have a strap, you could use like a jump rope or a tie. Lots of options. I'm sure you can find something around the house, right? So pull it in and then release it down. Left arm reaches up. Bring it inside that left foot. Again, we're coming into that lizard pose, so left leg maybe rolls to the outer edge. Glance back at that right foot. Make sure it's kind of straight out behind you. Sinking those hips down. And then if you want to, you can lower down to the forearms here. Breathing in and breathing out. When you've had enough of that pose, go ahead and walk it back up to your palms. Tuck the back toe under. Send that left leg high to the sky. And then set it down. Go ahead and just walk your hands back towards your feet, rising up to a standing position. Hands come to the hips. Right foot is going to step forward. So imagine that your feet are on parallel train tracks. And, you know, they're like, I don't know, maybe a foot or 2 feet, whatever feels good to you, kind of in your stance. And then inhale, look up, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. So you can bring your hands down to the mat here if that is crazy and it's not going to happen. There's lots of options to bring the mat closer. So you can put like water bottles or blocks or books or something just to kind of help you here. That's totally normal. You can also just bring your hands kind of to your upper thigh. But to get the most out of this pose, you want to pull your right hip back, left hip forward, straight through both legs, or at least straight-ish. Should feel that in the back of that right leg. Go ahead and bend into that front knee, step the left foot forward. Rise up. Hands come to the hips, left foot steps forward. Pressing the hips forward, open the chest, look up, and then fold in. Again, let the head hang heavy here, so let gravity help you, pulling you deeper into this pose. Feeling that deep stretch. Left hip shifts back in space, right hip shifts forward. All 10 toes here are pointing forward. So just a little bit more breathing here. And then bend into the front knee, step that back foot forward to meet the front. Inhale, rise up tall. And then we'll bring the right hand down to the side. Left arm reaches up and over, pressing into the left foot so you feel a really strong stretch through the fingertips to this foot. And then come to center, switch it out, left hand comes down, pressing into the right foot, reaching up and over. Back to center. And then from here, I'll keep facing you guys. Go ahead and shift your weight into your left foot. Start to pull that heel toward your glute. And then maybe, if it's available, reach back, grab that foot. I'll show you guys here. So you want your knee here to be pointed straight down and kind of in line with your standing knee. But do what feels comfortable to you. Like, not all of our bodies are created differently, so this pose might not look the same in everyone, or it won't look the same in everyone. So while you're doing this, press your hips forward, and then your left hand can reach up tall. So this might be a little balance challenge for some of you guys. That's all right. You can use the wall next to you. But press those hips forward, pull that heel in. And then if you want to here, you can try a little dancer pose. So lean forward, reach forward, kick that hand into your foot. Strong through the standing leg. Pressing the foot into the hand, pulling the hand into the foot. All right, and then go ahead and just bring that knee in, set it down, shake it out. And then we'll switch to the other side. So shift the weight into the right foot. Left heel pulls up towards your butt. Reach back, grab that foot. Knee points down. Make sure your hips are kind of level with each other too, so you might need to do a little shifting around here. And then once you find your balance, reach up with that right hand, pressing the hips forward, pull the belly button toward the spine. Just feel that stretch in the front of your left quad. And then start to hinge forward if you want to try dancer on this side. It's also really normal to have one side that's much easier than the other side, so no worries there, that's normal. So just reach, stretch, and then bring the knee in, set it down. Good job. We'll do one more little standing stretch before we move down to a seat, or a little sequence here. So go into a wide straddle pose here. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, fold forward. And you can adjust your stance, do whatever feels good for you. Your toes should probably be kind of pointed out a little bit. And then just walk the hands over. Right hand grabs behind the right ankle. Left fingertips walk over toward the left foot. And then gaze behind you. Let the head hang heavy here. Feel that stretch in the back of the right leg. And you can stay here for a while if you want to pause. But when you're ready, walk back through center. Come over to the left side. Left hand reaches behind the left ankle. Right hand reaches over toward the left toes. Hope you guys are doing all right. You're hanging with me. Oh, special shout out to the GMSC cross country team if you guys are following along. Nice work. I'll see you soon. Happy you're here. Go ahead and bend into the right knee really deep. Left toes kind of peel up toward the sky or pull back towards your face. You can keep your fingertips down here for balance. And then really press that heel into the mat and pull it back towards your body. Getting deep into that inner thigh area. So breathe into it. For me, I'm up on the ball of my balancing leg, so just to kind of get an extra stretch, you can open up that right knee too. And then go ahead and lift the hips, switch it out. So walk the hands over toward the left foot, bend deeply into the left knee, up on the ball of the left foot. Right toes pull back toward your body. Pressing that heel down and pulling it back towards you to get the deepest stretch here. So I'm hoping that you guys are getting lots of good ideas. Hopefully there's a couple of these that are your favorites that you can do whenever you are feeling tight. Or you can do the whole sequence with me every day. All right, go ahead and come back to center. And then we're just gonna go ahead and make our way down. Nothing fancy, just come to a seat. Extend both legs out in front of you. Bend the right knee. The right ankle is gonna go just right on top or right above the left knee. So coming into a figure four. And then plant your palms behind you, fingertips facing back. Bend into that left knee, pulling the right leg in towards your body. So again, this is one of those poses that just see how it feels for you. You might pull the left heel closer in. You might need it to be further away. Just kind of play with it. You can flex that foot, rotate the ankle in one direction and the other. And then you can even gently kind of rock side to side here, which you should feel that in the right hip. So keep kind of pressing that open knee, the right knee, away from your body as you're doing this. And then straighten it back out. Switch it out. So right leg extends, left ankle crosses over. Bend that knee, bring the foot to the mat. Crown of the head reaches tall. Scoop the belly out. So you're pulling your belly button away from your shirt. Rotate the ankle. Give a little rock side to side. Hoping this feels good for you guys. I would love to hear your comments or any questions or anything specific too that you want in the future if there's a certain muscle group that's bothering you. Go ahead and extend the legs back out. And then just bring your feet together, sitting up nice and tall, butterfly pose. So the knees, you can gently kind of press them open. And a lot of you that will be up like this, not a problem. You can slide your feet further away from your body. You can bring it in closer. Just play around with it. There's no one perfect way to do any of these poses. Sit up nice and tall, and then kind of peel your feet open here, causing yourself to kind of open the knees a little more. And then slowly just bend forward. And you can use those elbows to press the legs open a little further. And just fold forward, whatever feels good. You can keep a flat back, or you can kind of curl in, tuck the chin toward the chest. You can reach the arms out long. Just play around with it. Maybe bring the forearms down. And then when you've had enough of that, go ahead and walk your way up. Bring the knees together. And then lower yourself all the way down to your back. Stretching out nice and long, full body stretch, fingertips as far away from toes as possible. And then bring the knees up, feet down on the mat. Left leg extends long. Hug the right knee in toward the chest. Rotate the ankle. And then we're gonna come into a half happy baby. So left hand comes down onto that left hip. That right hand grabs the outer edge of your right foot. And you're just gonna start to lift the bottom of your right foot toward the ceiling or the sky, pulling the knee in toward the armpit. So you're pulling down with your hand, and at the same time, you're kind of pressing up with your foot. So getting a little counter balance going on. Should feel good in the hip. And then just let that heel sink down towards your butt. Pass your right knee over across your body to your left hand. Right arm opens up to a T or to a cactus arm or goalpost. And then if it feels good, just glance over your right shoulder, coming into a twist. This is one of those poses that you can stay in for a long time. It feels amazing. Just try to relax a little deeper with each exhale. And again, you can pause the video, stay here for a few more breaths. When you're ready, pull those knees back up to center, pull it in, and then extend it long. Left knee pulls in, hug it nice and tight. Rotate the ankle, and then grab that outer edge of the foot. Bottom of the foot comes up towards parallel to the sky. Right hand anchors down that hip. So try not to lift your right butt off the mat. I was trying to say glute instead of butt, but whatever. It's just easier. You guys don't care, right? So pull that knee in toward the armpit. And then let the heel drop down, pass it off across your body, coming into a twist. Left arm reaches long, gaze over that left shoulder. Stay here as long as you'd like. And then come back to center. Bring the knees in toward the chest. Pretend like those legs are glued together, and then straighten the heels up toward the sky. So this pose is amazing. If you've had, if your legs are really tired, if you've had like a really hard workout, or if you just need to get your body to calm down before going to bed, you can do this up against the wall. So just scoot your butt up against the wall and let your legs go up. It feels amazing. You know you've done it long enough when your toes start to tingle. And then when you come back to standing after that, it just feels incredible. So hopefully this has been a great stretch for you guys. Go ahead and hug the knees in deep. You're all done. You did awesome. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much. Namaste.